Hey everybody, I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. Today I'm talking about this little light right here. It's actually not so little. It's about a 4 foot tall stand light that is an LED light that you can use for growing taller style plants, or if you have a lot of plants on shelves in a multi-shelf type area, it would probably work well for something like that. This is made by a company called Barrina, and they sent it to me free to test, to try out, and to do a little review video on. So I'm going to tell you what I really think about it, and there's some pros and cons to it. So I'm going to be real with this, and I'm not going to fluff anything up. It is just going to be a basic review on this, and if it's going to be good for your purposes, you can go ahead and get one. If you don't think it'll work out, then that's okay too. But this is just what I think of this particular light. For my purposes, I tested it on my avocado tree here, which of course avocados do not grow well in Tennessee unless you bring them indoors. And you can see here, there's a lot of initial browning. Some of these leaves are probably about to go from when I brought it in. Okay, it did get knocked down a few times in some strong winds outdoors in its pot. I need to get this into a larger pot anyway and try to get it, a little bit more refreshed with the soil and whatnot. But after I started using the light in the house, I put on a lot of extra growth. Or actually, the plant put on a lot of extra growth. Maybe I did too. It was Christmas time also. But anyway, right here you can see there's a lot of brand new growth from about here all the way up to the top. So it's probably standing about 6'2" or so right now, including the pot. And it's got some side shoots that came off from here and more in this direction. Now we have it indoors in a south facing window, but the exterior of the house has a front porch which has an overhang over top of it. So this window gets light in the afternoon, but not as much light as this plant would like. And the Barrina stand lamp, it's basically got a weighted bottom right here, a little bit of a stand up to this point. And you can adjust it a little bit, I think. Yeah, these two pieces come apart, so you can make it a little shorter if you need to. I've got it up all the way. And it has a combination, it might be a little hard to see on the camera because I've got it lit, of red and blue and white lights all the way up and down the light fixture. Here's basically what it looks like. You've got the LED lights inside of a clear plastic coating right here. The back of it is black. You've got your typical information here. It's a 42 watt fixture, so you're using 42 watts when you're using it. And it does come with this timer here in the back right there. So I don't currently have it on the timer. I've just been putting it on manually with this little step button, which I kind of like the step button because you can just be walking by, tap it, and you're good to go. Now, this kind of a light fixture is not typically what I would look for. And the reason is I don't have a whole lot of indoor plants. I've got some that I bring indoors, like this avocado tree. And I grew a lemon tree and had a bird of paradise tree at one time many years ago. So I think it would be very useful for some of those larger type of trees and plants that you do bring indoors. And if you're somebody who's got a whole lot of house plants on a stand or an array, it might be good for that as well. So the light is very bright. It's 4,500 lumens bright, and it's great for the plants, but maybe in the evenings when you're trying to wind down and settle in for the evening, it might be a little too bright. So it'd be really nice if there was a dimmer switch or something where it could turn down in the evening. It'd also be nice if it was something that you could hook in with maybe other devices so that in your house you can change things at different times, kind of a smart light fixture. It doesn't have that capability. It does come with that timer right over here, but it is pretty much your basic timer that you can get at any kind of a store, your hardware stores and stuff. You can find those all over the place. I don't have that timer fixture on. Like I said a minute ago, I'm just using the little pedal button, which I think is great. I like that. All right. Now, I'll probably only use this light fixture in the wintertime when I'm bringing in like my avocado tree here. And if I were to bring in some citrus, some sort of like indoor Meyer lemons or maybe some orange or something like that, I might use that to kind of create a little bit of a fruit corner so that they're getting some extra light in the wintertime. I don't think it's going to be extremely useful for growing my tomato plants and pepper plants indoors. Those I'll mostly use plant shelves for and a horizontal light fixture. Also, a lot of your house plants tend to be more of a tropical in nature. And it So with this light fixture, I think it could be very useful in the wintertime if you're bringing in tropical style fruiting trees like my avocado tree, especially if you've growing like a Meyer lemon or some limes indoors. I can see you moving your plants inside, giving them some supplemental light like this because it is vertical, and I think that very well could help in reaching the foliage a whole lot better than say a horizontal light might. Now, if you're thinking about houseplants with it, I think its usefulness is minimal because a lot of your houseplants are they're from tropical areas and they're typically grown indoors because they have some shade tolerance ability, or they like the shade, they prefer it. So a lot of those plants are not going to need this level of lighting indoors all the time. So the Barrina light is very cool looking. It's very sleek and modern. So, it definitely has some style points there. It's extremely bright and it does a good job at what it's supposed to do in giving you light there. But I would recommend that you think about your plan for the lights that you need in your house and make sure that this is exactly right for the situation that you're planning to use it in. Because I don't think it's ideal for every situation, but I will say Barrino has a variety of other lights that are available, different types of grow lights and things. So you can kind of look at what they have and maybe find something that fits your situation perfectly. So I can't wait to get my avocado tree back outdoors and get it into some fresh soil so that it can have a really good growing season this year. Hopefully, I'll get some avocados out of it someday. This is one that actually just emerged from a compost bin. One of the easiest ways to grow an avocado tree I've found is to just take one out of the compost bin that's already rooted and potted up. It's real easy to do it that way. But I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. If you like this, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Growing the Home Garden. Thanks for watching.